And Marty, while Ed is coming up here, we're going to apologize to you because there's been a lot of confusion going around about Marty's candidate. This is Mardi Anne Levey. She is a candidate for circuit court. And Marty, you want to stand up and just introduce yourself so everybody knows who you are.
Hi, I'm Mardi Anne Levey, but you have to vote for Pedro DeJoles to vote for me.
Everybody's probably aware, but there's been lots of litigation around this case. It started out as a situation where we had a recount. And so there's been a lot of procedures, activity, confusion in some cases. So by way of clarification about the race that Mardi Anne is involved in, we were on again and off again with litigation. I don't know how many times we went back and forth with the litigation. By the time the litigation was in its last event, now here there's another event that's occurring at the Supreme Court level. So, but we're trying to keep up with it. But at the time we went through the last event, we were at a point of practically no return, having printed thousands and thousands of ballots. So we used the process that is a legal process to print a notice regarding how you are to cast a vote for candidate Mardi Anne Levey. Pedro DeJoles' name is still on the ballot at this point, but she was asking earlier where we will put a notice regarding her candidacy, and we're using the old Ivotronic booths. So the notice regarding her candidacy in the effort to clarify for the voters, I think it's a bright colored piece of paper. And it's a gold piece of paper, and it's printed, Ellen, if you let me finish this, it's printed on the back of the voting booth. So when a voter goes in, that's probably going to be the first piece of information that they see. And that same information that we printed has gone out to the absentee ballot. So we're following the statutes, the judge's orders rather, in terms of how we have to approach this. So let me, yes.
One thing I can add to that, just to clarify when you explain the situation to people, he's no longer a candidate. I think. Who's no longer a candidate? Pedro DeJoles.
If I said he's a candidate, he is not a candidate. He is, I think, he and his attorneys are contesting something. I haven't gotten the details, so I don't know.
To the Division of Elections, he is not a candidate.
He is not a candidate. The two candidates are, in this race, Bernie Boger, and Mardi Anne Levey. So they are the only two candidates. Mary?
I would also like to say that the overseas ballots went out, and we did send a notice overseas to every email overseas vote.
Okay, let me just make sure we've covered this.